After the pastor and his prayer warriors left, the house fell into an area of silence. Richard sat quietly on the edge of the couch, his palms sweating. The night seemed thicker than usual, and even the ticking of the clock sounded louder, heavier, like it was counting down to something dreadful. He looked at Sarah, who was sitting on the floor with her head buried in her nails, sobbing softly. "Sarah," he finally said, trying to sound calm, "I think we need to leave this place. Maybe the problem is in this house." Sarah lifted her head slowly, her eyes swollen from tears. "Leave? To where?" "To the other mansion in Ikoyi," Richard said quickly. "It's far from here. Maybe wherever this is, maybe it won't follow us there." Sarah hesitated, but she was too exhausted to argue. A few days later, they packed and left. When they arrived at the new mansion, everything seemed calm at first. The place was huge, elegant and quiet. Richard hired two new house helps, Ngozi and Ada, to assist with the chores. For the first few days, things were peaceful. Sarah even started to smile again. But it didn't last. It started one night around 2 a.m. They were both asleep when they heard the loud creak of the bedroom door opening by itself. Richard jumped out of bed, grabbed a flashlight, and searched around, but there was no one there. He closed the door firmly, but a few minutes later, it swung open again, this time harder, like someone was angry. Sarah sat up, trembling. "Richard, please, something is in this place." The next day, strange things began happening all around. The doors would open and slam on their own. The lights flickered for no reason, and sometimes when they turned off the TV, the screen would suddenly turn back on by itself, showing static and shadows moving in the reflection. At night, Sarah would feel the bed deep beside her, as though someone invisible had laid down next to her. Once she felt something cold brushed against her arm, and even when she looked, there were faint red scratch marks forming on her skin. "Richard," she screamed one night. "It's here. Something is on the bed." Richard rushed in, turned on the lights, and saw the blanket shifting by itself, as though something was crawling underneath. He froze in fear. He pulled the blanket off, but nothing was there.